Hello friends, welcome to bisptrainings.com. My name is Sumit and this is my next video in Dynamic CRM series. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate you how to use Fetch XML feature which is available in Dynamic CRM to retrieve the record. So let me explain you the requirement. So I have got one of my contact named as Peter Paul. So I would like to retrieve the record of Peter Paul by using FetchXML into my .NET. So by using FetchXML based on certain criteria, I would like to extract the records like the full name, account name, its phone number, and date of birth, credit limit, and whether the marketing material has been sent or not. So I just wanted to verify this by using Fetch XML. So Fetch XML is an advanced feature which can be used to run a SQL query in Dynamic CRM, and by using that we can fetch the data. So let's see how to fetch the data into .NET by using Dynamic CRM by using Fetch XML. So for that I get back to contacts. Here I click on Advanced Find. So as you can see here, I'm getting the contact status equals to active. So I just create a new query, and that is contact view. I just wanted to extract only that record whose name is Peter Paul. So full name, I'll search for full name equals Peter Paul, and status equals to active. Status equals to active. Okay, let's search for the result and let's check whether record exists or not. So there is one record named as Peter Paul, so that's fine. I'll get back to my advanced find, and here you can see one option is coming known as download fetch XML. So I use this option to download the query which will generate in an XML, which will generate my query in XML format. So I click on download fetch XML and stored on my desktop, named as fetch XML, and the format is XML format. So I'll save it, and once I'm done with that, I'm going to close it. So leave it, that's all. So let's go and check whether that fetch XML stores in my desktop or not, and if it has been stored, what's the format of it. So I switch back to my desktop. I open this fetch XML in Visual Studio, and you can see here I'm getting the attributes here, attributes and the query. So fetch version output format is XML platform, mapping is logical, distance is distinct is false, and these are the attribute names, and that's the filter condition. Based on this filter condition, the value will be filtered. But I would like to add more attributes into it, because I would be requiring, we have got full name, we have got telephone one, contact ID is okay. Along with contact ID, I would be requiring its parent account ID if there is any. I would like to have I would like to extract the mobile phone number, birth date, whether the credit limit and the marketing material has been sent or not. So I'm going to include these attributes as well here. So as you can see here, I have added the attribute. So I add the parent customer ID, birth date, credit limit, and do not send ML. I'll just save it. So, and let's make sure whether it's saved perfectly fine or not. So yeah, it's saved perfectly fine. Now what I'm doing is to convert this into proper XML, proper fetch XML statement, we would be requiring a fetch XML tool. So you can see I have downloaded a fetch XML formatter tool. So we need to download this fetch XML formatter tool, and I'll just open it. And this fetch XML formatter tool will help us to format this properly. So we need to just copy and paste the fetch XML code here. So I'll just copy my code. Paste here, and I would like in C sharp format because I'm going to include it in my C sharp. So I select C sharp and click on format, and that's the fetch XML code which would be going to add into our C sharp code. So I copy this code and paste it in a notepad. So we'll be going to use this fetch XML code, which is generated mainly for C sharp. We'll be going to use it. So we have done half of the task. Now let's see how can we include this, how can we use this fetch XML format into our .NET. So I'm going to create a new project in Visual Studio, and this would be my console application. So I create a new console application, new project, and I'm going to create a console application. Okay. There are few references which we'll be going to add, that is SDK. So if you have already downloaded Dynamic CRM SDK, that's fine, and you can add the reference. Otherwise, we have an option which named as manage NuGet packages, and by using this we can directly or we can instantly add the references or the packages. So I use this option. If you want the updated one, you can go for this option. So I click on manage NuGet packages. So the first package which I would be requiring is Microsoft XRM.SDK, and install it. I just installed this as well. The second package which I'll be requiring is Microsoft.crm.sdk.proxy. So I install this proxy as well. Close it, and in reference you can see I have got Microsoft.xrm.sdk and Microsoft.xrm.crm.sdk.proxy. Along with this, two more references I would be requiring. So I add a reference. So those are local references. The first one I would be requiring is Microsoft.runtime.serialization and system.service.model. So okay. So I have added these two references as well. And now I add the references here, Microsoft.xrm.sdk. So I added four references here using Microsoft.xrm.sdk, xrm.sdk.client, system.service.model.description, and Microsoft.xrm.sdk.query. Now the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build a connectivity with Dynamic CRM by using .NET. By using this libraries, I would like to build a connectivity. I would like to set up a connection with Dynamic CRM. So for that, so I copy paste the code here, and this will help me to connect to my organization. And as you can see here, the statements, the commands which I'm using, the static I organization service. In main function, I connect to MS CRM. This connect to MS CRM is a user defined function, and it takes three parameters: username, password, and the SOAP organization service URL. And these three parameters I have been passed here. That's my username, organizational username, that's the password, and that's the organizational service URL. Now to retrieve this organizational service URL, you can get to settings, customization, developer resources, and within developer resources we have this organization service. So I copy this organization service URL. So I copy this organization service URL and paste it and paste here. So that's my organizational service URL. So this service organization URL, including the username and password, will pass to connect to CRM, and this by using the credentials it will test the connectivity, and if the connectivity is okay, it will return back. It will return back to this function, and based on this connectivity it will check the user's ID, and if user ID is not available it will throw error message. It will throw error message, else it will display connection established successfully. So let me execute this first and test whether connection has been established successfully or not. So it will take some time to test the connection, and once the connection is tested successfully, it will display a message, connection test is established successfully. So you need to wait for that. So you see, I got a confirmation message, connection established successfully. It means I'm successfully connected to Dynamic CRM by using my console application. So now in extent of this application, now I'm going to continue with this, and here, because our final requirement is to get the result, get the record from the Dynamic CRM from the contact based on by using that fetch XML. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to remove this, eliminate this connectivity message, because instead of this I just wanted to display the record. So here I write string fetch XML string is equal to, and here I'm going to paste the XML string which we copied just now, which we transformed just now. So I copy the whole message, copy it and paste it here, and so as you can see here, we have got the attributes along with all the attributes. So this fetch XML I stored into a string. Next command, I write entity collection, and execute fetch is a function. So in this function, I'm going to pass this fetch XML string. So we'll be going to create this execute fetch. So that's the entity collection execute fetch function, and this gets one input, that is fetch XML string. So this fetch XML string will be going to pass into this function, and this function will return the records. So this function will by using this fetch XML string, it will pull the data and return back into this EC. Then I write a if condition, I test an if condition that if this ec.entities.count is greater than 0, it means if the record exists where I want to perform some action, else it will throw some error message, or I just wanted to print some display message that record does not exist, and so on. So just to save time, I have copy paste the code, and as you can see here, I am extracting the full name and stores into output. So I create a string output is equal to string.empty, and this output we are going to append the updates. We are going to append the output. So I extract the full name, if it contains birth date, if it contains parent customer ID or credit limit, and do not send MN, and it will extract the value and stores and appends into output. So this will create a string. This will create a complete string. And finally, I display the output here. So this loop will run a couple of times based on the number of record exist. So that's the complete code. And also you can add a try and catch block, like I have been added here, try and catch block. So this try and catch block will help me to throw an error if any error exists, if any issues occur. Now let's test this code. So I simply execute this, I press F5, and as soon as I press F5, it will establish a connectivity with CRM by using the credentials, and then it will extract the data by using fetch XML query. So you see, I got the record Peter Paul, birth date is 18/10/1980, company is A.M, credit limit is 12542, and send marketing material name send. We can check it here as well. So I'll get back to the records. I quickly get back to my record here. Sales, contact, Peter Paul, and I just get the record. So name is Peter Paul, A.M, and we are not getting phone number. Anyway, we can add a phone number as well. So here I want company, credit limit, birth date. So I scroll down for birth date. That's the birth date. Credit limit is 12542, and the marketing material has been sent successfully. So it means the record match, and we found the record, and if the record does not exist, definitely it will throw error message. So if you want to customize something, if you want to do customization, we can do customization here as well. We can rename the value, we can change the value of the contact name, and it will pull the data according So based on the name which we'll be going to provide. So that's all in this video. If you have any queries, you can write to us on www.bisptrainings.com. You can subscribe our YouTube channel for more videos on dynamic CRM. You can connect with us for the customized training on dynamic CRM. Keep watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.